Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to Learning with Miss Nancy. And before I begin today's activity, I'd like to know if you've had your water today. Have you had your water today? No? Well, get your water so that we can sip together. Are you ready? Let's sip together. Ah, so refreshing. Let's take another sip together. And remember, boys and girls, to drink water each day throughout the day to stay hydrated and healthy. Now, we're going to get ready for our lesson. Let's go. Hi, boys and girls. Today, we're going to do something fun with our names. We're going to make an acrostic poem. An acrostic poem. Can you say the word acrostic? Good. Say it again. Acrostic. Good. Let's spell acrostic together. A-C-R-O-S-T-I-C. Acrostic. Very good. Now, what is an acrostic? An acrostic is when you take each letter in a word, like your name, and use that letter to start a new word or an idea that describes you. So let's take my name, for example. My name is Nancy. How do you spell my name? N-A-N-C-Y. And we're going to make an acrostic. We're going to go across the page with each letter, using each letter in my name, right? And create a word that begins with that letter to describe me. Now, as you learned in my earlier videos, there are 8 parts of speech. And for the acrostic poem, you need to use adjectives. And adjectives are words that describe nouns. Words that describe nouns. And so to describe Miss Nancy, you have to think of some words that begin with an N. And then another word that begins with an A. And another word that begins with an N. Another word that begins with a C. And another word that begins with a Y. So when you start an acrostic, you write your name vertically first, right? N-A-N-C-Y. If your name is Ben, then you would put B-E-N going down the paper vertically, right? Then you go across. N is for. Now, you have to think of a word that begins with an N to describe Miss Nancy, and I'm going to help you. So I have a list of N words here. N is for, so when you think of Miss Nancy, nice, noble, natural. So any one of those words would describe me. I am a nice person. I am noble. I'm honorable and courageous. And I'm natural. I'm just me. I'm not a phony. I am who you see, right? So we could say N is for, let's go with what? Nice. So that's the first word that you would put on the line for the acrostic. Nice. N-I-C-E. So N is for nice. Now, the second letter in the acrostic is A, and we have to go across. A is for. So I'm helping you out, and I have some A words that describe Nancy. Awesome, amazing, and active. Well, why, thank you for the compliment. So we could put what? A for awesome. And how do we spell awesome? A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Okay, there we have it. A-W-E-S-O-M-E. The next letter, we have another N. N is for, let's go back over. We've already used nice. You want to use noble or natural. Oh, she's a natural. That's right. She is so herself all of the time. So N is for natural. Here's natural. So let's spell natural on our sheet. N-A-T-U-R-A-L. N-A-T-U-R-A-L. Very good. Natural. Next letter is C. C is for, well, here's some adjectives to help describe Miss Nancy. C is for calm, at times that can be, creative all of the time, and confident. So C is for, let's go with what? Creative. Very good. C-R-E-A-T-I-V-E. Creative. And the last letter for our acrostic is Y. So Y for Miss Nancy, could you use yellow? You can. Young, oh, of course, yes. Yummy. So you want to say young? I'm young at heart. I'm an older lady, but I'm young at heart. So let's try young. Y-O-U-N-G. So let's put on the line. Y-O-U-N-G. And so when you're writing acrostic, it's good to have like a list of words that match the letters in your name, just to give you some ideas as to what letters to include in the poem. Now we have an acrostic poem that talks about Miss Nancy. Remember, you write your name vertically, you write it down on the paper, and then you write the words to the poem across. That's why it's called an acrostic. So let's read our acrostic together about Nancy. N is for nice. A is for awesome. N is for natural. C is for creative. And Y is for young. And that's an acrostic for Nancy. Now it's your turn. Get a piece of paper and a pencil and write your name vertically, and then write an acrostic. Whatever the letter is, write that letter is for, and then think of a word that matches that letter, and write the word down. And once you finish, you will have an entire poem all about you, using adjectives and colorful words to describe you. Have fun, and remember to think bigger, earlier, and continue watching Learning with Miss Nancy. Bye for now. Hi friends, don't forget to subscribe to Learning with Miss Nancy. Thank you.